Hello, my loves. Welcome or welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist, and in today's reading, we're going to do something a little bit different. The words that popped into my head as I was getting prepared for this reading was tarot therapy. So it's kind of hard to explain. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each one of you to take a deep breath. Center yourself. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe evenly. And just keep an open mind. These messages are going to be whatever the collective needs them to be. Each one may be different. Each one may be very, very similar. There may be multiple messages for you in multiple piles. There may be no messages in any piles. This may be the time for you to hear this. This may not. Get in touch with your intuition and allow yourself to be led. Not in fear, not in desperation, not in a state of feeling as though you're lacking something and needing something to fill that. But trust and clarity. Move forward in trust and clarity in your intuition. At the end of each pile, I will leave the option for you to choose to accept Reiki healing energy. If you choose to accept it, it will come in for you. I have attached Reiki energy at the end of each pile for those who choose it. If you do choose to accept the Reiki energy, I do ask you to please give yourself about a half hour. Allow the energies to work through you. Allow it to help heal whatever needs to be healed. Remember that Reiki energy is an intelligent energy. It knows where it's needed and it goes where it's needed. When the half hour is over, drink water, ground yourself, and don't forget that gratitude is the best way to show Spirit your heart. Okay, so we have 3 piles. I have signifier cards and stones. Pile 1, we have the card Between Worlds and a Sunset Aura Quartz. Pile 2, we have Truth Be Told and Moss Agate. And pile 3, we have Time for a Nap and Banded Agate. Take the time that you need to allow trust and guidance to flow through you, through your intuition, and allow yourself to be led to the pile that is right for you. I will give you a little bit of time and I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first pile, you chose the card number 3 and Between Worlds, as well as this Sunset Aura Quartz. And the first thing is the Sunset Aura Quartz is associated with the goddess Isis, and Isis is associated with magic, with Egypt, but also with loyalty, with dedication, and love. With the Between Worlds card, what I picked up is you're someone who I would call a traveler. You move between realms, both in sleeping and waking. You know how to navigate through shadows, but not just your own shadows. You know how to navigate through other people's shadows. It's not something that you tell a lot of people because it's not exactly the easiest thing. But I'm getting that you know how to see. And something that happens is when you spend too much time traversing the shadows, you can get caught up in fear. And it's fear of not being safe, not being protected, not being secure, fear of not being able to get out. But the way that I am being shown is it's like you walk through the shadows of other people. You walk out your door, and instead of seeing the best parts of people, it's as though their shadows can't hide from you. You know, a shadow can never hide from the light. The light is what draws them out. And that's that is who you are in the world. You're the kind of person that just naturally exudes the kind of light that other people can't hide their shadows. But it wasn't always like that. In fact, I get the feeling that for a very long time you lived in the shadows yourself because you didn't understand that you had a light, that you were the light. And now one of your greatest strengths is the fact that you are capable of walking between worlds. You can move from the shadows into the light and the light into the shadows, and you can do it at will. And I get the sense that some of you may not have known that this is a gift. This is a very rare spiritual gift. It's kind of like timeline jumping, but not exactly. You see, we live in a world that is complete and utter duality, which means, or better yet, we live in the world of polarities. So it's like, I think it's Newton's law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I think it's the third law of motion. That is, it's the essence of the law of polarity. For everything there is its opposite. Which means you know that for every choice we make, there is the opposite choice. And that creates a timeline. When we have all of these multiple timelines that span out everywhere, it doesn't just expand the light within each of us, it expands the shadows within each of us. But if even one version of ourselves heals one piece of our shadow, all the shadows heal. Now, you can never get rid of the shadow, just like you can't get rid of the ego, but you can heal it. You can bring it into a healthy state. You can become aware of it, which means you can live in a balanced place, in a balanced world. And when one aspect of you does that, All of them do that. And you know this because that's what you do. You help other people heal their shadows. Even if you're not doing this as a regular thing, as like a job or anything like that, maybe this is like the last thing. I get kind of the sense of that's the last thing I would want to do. But you do it without realizing you're doing it. And it's because you have walked and visited every other option there was for you, every other offshoot of decisions made and not made. You've seen all versions of yourself. And you've learned your own shadows. You've spent so much time digging down deep within yourself that you have literally come out as this beacon of light. But it doesn't mean that you don't have your shadows, and you know that. But what it did do is it opened up this gift within you. And right now, this gift is becoming ever more prominent, which can make it very difficult for you to interact with people, because when you're pulling out their shadow sides, then it can almost seem as though you're attracting karmic toxicity, karmic ties that you have to heal. But that's not what it is. You naturally pull out the darkest essences of other people because it's attracted to your light. But you are simply the beacon. You're the lighthouse. Okay, the lighthouse doesn't make the ships come to it. It stands and shines its light, and the ships come of their own accord. A ship can use a lighthouse's light to steer it in another direction where it needs to go, or it can choose to come into the harbor. You don't have control over the ships. You don't have control over the decisions that the people make. The ones that cling to the light are the ones that have the deepest darknesses. But it's not anything that you're doing that's wrong. It's part of your gift. And when you can understand that, then you can learn how to be a mirror. It's kind of the way that I've taught my kids to do this as well when they have dealt with situations. Most people are aware of the concept of bubbling. So you put a bubble around yourself of white light. For an empath, we think about a protective bubble, and then we reinforce it. We use a mental equivalent of something like steel, bars, to reinforce it, and then an intention of the only thing that can come through is love and light and honesty and whatever your intention is. And that's a very strong empath protection bubble. Now, for bright lights in the world that have that tendency to pull out other people's shadows, what you can do is you can put that protective bubble up. But think of it as a mirror. It's kind of like a two-way mirror. So you're on one side and you can see the other person, but they can't see you. They can only see themselves. And you can set the intention for them to understand and realize that what they're projecting outward onto you is what they are seeing within themselves. And it takes the time it takes, but it will get there if you set that intention and work with spirit. It's a mirror protection. That is something that may help you. But it is a gift. It is a gift. And if you can embrace the fact that it's a gift and that it is a very rare gift, you can see how you're meant to shine in this world. Because you are meant to shine in this world. And that is a phrase that we use so often in the spiritual community, but you're literally meant to shine. Your shine may bring out other people's shadows, which means that you may end up under attack at times without realizing it. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because you've experienced it. So you know exactly what I mean. It's written in your energy field. This sense of, I don't know whether I can trust this. I don't know whether I can do this. I don't know who to trust, and I don't want to make friends. I don't want to get close to anybody, because if I get close to anybody, it always ends the same way. It's because you trigger shadows, but it's not triggering them. You're just highlighting it. You're just illuminating it. You're not even doing it intentionally. It's a blessing, because the world needs more people who can do what you can do. And they're so few and so far between and so rare that if one walks away, it's just sad, because you're literally meant to shine in the world, but the world deserves to see the truth of your light. So let's get a look at your cards. I have no intention beyond bringing forth whatever comes through here. I don't have any signifiers or anything like that. I am letting Spirit guide me, and I'm just kind of throwing myself into it with complete and utter trust here. So I just wanted to give you guys that caveat. So we have the card 20, Endurance and Rock. Blame, I accept responsibility for my well-being. Self-esteem, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. I am absolutely astounded right now at the cards for me channeling. I have not looked at these cards, so I had no idea what these were. But wow. Vulnerability. Listen to your vulnerable feelings as they contain wisdom and inspiration, and then pray for strength to focus on your priorities, no matter what. And I love that they have the halos of light around their heads. It's very similar to your energy. And then we have, when I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally, support will surround me, and movements will form. There we go. Okay, this makes sense. So especially with this blame card, for the blame card, this is not, it's not always your energy. Sometimes it is, and you know that that's the case, and we're not going to tiptoe around that. Playing the blame game is really, really easy. We live in a world that is filled with blame game. It's really, really easy. But you're also somebody who has taken on a lot of other people's blame and shame and guilt, because they project it onto you, which is why I talked to you about the mirror. Now, the endurance in the rock with the blame means that you have this capability of being stronger than that. And if you look at the endurance in the rock, you can literally see this tree has a protection bubble around it. That step in and of itself gives you enough to keep moving forward, to understand that you can be in both worlds, that you can move between the worlds, that you can see all the dingy and all the grimy nature of everything that's in the world, but still shine your light, because that light is so important. And this is the thing. Like I said in the intro, and if you missed it, it's not a big deal. In the intro, I said something about gratitude being the best way to acknowledge spirit or something. Wow, I can't even remember what I channeled myself. But essentially, when you start seeing this gift, the way that spirit sees it, the way that I can literally feel within your energy, this potential, this hope, this just wow. Just wow. When you can see that, then you can understand that you are meant to take care of yourself. You are strong enough to get through this, and you are meant for joy and to shine in the world. This self-esteem card, I possess gifts of the souls that benefit me and others. I literally told you, this is a very rare gift. And even if you don't realize how rare and how beautiful of a gift this is, it is the truth. it makes you feel weak. It makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel like a target, but that's not the case. This is one of your greatest strengths because you're the person that can see it all. You can feel it all and you can move through it all. And you can still laugh. You can still cry. You can still find peace and joy and happiness. And the more that you do that, the more there is this beautiful, loving support just flooding all around you. And it's not just from spirit, but your spirit guides, but your friends, your family. There really are people around you that even though it can seem as though they are constantly projecting their darknesses and their mistakes and their shortcomings onto you, they're blaming you, they're shaming you, they're guilting you, they're making you feel all of these things. And all you do is you stand there and you take it. You stand there and you take it over and over and over and over and over again because you know that you can work your way through it and you know it's not your fault and you know it's not their fault. You understand all of that. There are so few people that do that. There are so few people in the world that really truly understand all of that about themselves and about other people. It's just not common. All right, we have choice, the Eight of Swords. You know what? I'm going to move this up so that you can see it better. The Eight of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Earth, the Five of Air, or the Five of Fire, or the Five of Wands, the 12 of, or the 7 of Earth. I apologize. My numbers are just way off. And the card 10 with Wisdom. And then we've got choice here on the bottom. Okay. All right. And I'm not going to use these. I'm not going with traditional meanings. I'm letting the cards just speak to me. Okay, so first of all, a lot of you guys already knew all of this about yourself. You did, but sometimes we need this reminder. Sometimes we just need to know. We just need to remember. We need to be reminded. Yeah, just, it's like I needed a reminder. I needed to realize. So, with this Eight of Air, there was something in the past, and it's going to be different for everyone, but there was something in the past that made you walk away from some of your gifts, from healing, from being a healer. I'm getting is some of you got tired of the healing game. It felt like it trapped you all the time. I apologize. I needed to eat something. Your energy has me very ungrounded, so I needed to get something in my stomach. The only person that can prevent you from connecting to spirit is you. And you learn that the hard way because when someone in the past told you that you're meant to be a healer and you rejected that, you didn't realize what being a healer was, what it was. It's kind of like there was this mentality that to be a healer meant you had to be a doctor and a nurse or a caregiver, or you had to constantly take care of everyone else. But that's simplistic in nature. Being a healer, I'm a healer. Whereas, I do Reiki, I am a Reiki Grandmaster. At the same time, I see what I'm doing here as healing. I write books. Those are healing. I hug my children. That's healing. I watch a movie with my husband and giggle. That's healing. for everyone. There are many, many, many ways to be a healer. And when you get caught up on a word and the connotation that's out in the world, that's when you struggle with it. And that's part of what's within your shadow that you have to realize is healer comes in many forms, in many ways. And when you want to find your path and your way forward in the world, you have to understand the abundance of being able to don whatever mask you wear wherever you're at, because that's where your abundance is. It's in being able to flex and change and flow with anything and everything that's going on around you, because it's what you're meant for. And when you have gone through all of these things in the past, but as you still find yourself like slipping back every once in a while, every time you try to come back out of this understanding and this awareness that you make your own abundance and you are abundant in and of yourself, and therefore your abundance level is equaled to how you feel about yourself. And abundance is not always about money. You have an abundance of very rare gifts. You have an abundance of light. Does that mean that you're going to be prosperous? Not always. Money and abundance aren't matched with each other. Right now, what I'm feeling is you're learning how to transform those things. You're learning how to transform your abundance, your inner abundance, into physical prosperity. But the center card, which is mostly your energy, is this knockdown, drag out fight. You think that you have to fight for everything in life. It's kind of like I'm seeing Aladdin. Like he has to steal food from on the streets, and everything's a fight. And whereas he makes it fun and he makes it funny every once in a while, he still goes hungry. You're not going to go hungry. Spirit won't allow that. And yes, it can seem like all you do is fight when you pull other people's shadows out. It can feel that way. Absolutely. I'm not going to say it won't. That would be absolutely foolish of me. But when you can stand tall in who you are, the big thing about moving forward is recognizing that, yes, it can feel like all you do is you fight with other people because you trigger them. But when you stay aligned, it doesn't matter how much fire and flack comes at you. You know your worth, and nothing is going to really touch you. And if anybody comes at you with fire, it's just going to help purify and cleanse you and them. You're turning all of what you know into the state of wisdom, and this wisdom card is quite literally like how you are. You can walk into the darkness, but you have this beacon of light. So now the real question is what are you going to choose? Like, I'm seeing 3 portals, which means there's 3 paths. Are you going to run from this forever? Are you going to see that this is who you are and embrace it and move forward and see what happens? Just get curious. We have the card Courage, which is perfect. Comparison. See, we've got 5s here. One more. Yeah, this Courage card, it reminds me of of the Rock and the Endurance card. But even this Choice card here too, and the 7 of Earth, you have the ability to grow where nothing should grow. To blossom where no life should be. Are you going to embrace it completely? What choice will you make? We have creativity. And look, we have schizophrenia, which is literally, it's somebody, no, you're not crazy, don't worry. It's someone spanning between two places, just like between worlds, holding on and trying to fight, just letting go and being in between. There is creativity to be found. I always think of the void space, and I find that there's creativity to be found in the void space. What I am picking up here is the biggest suggestion moving forward is take all the wisdom that you have, take that light that you have, that gift that you have, and turn it into what you want it to be. Not what the world says that you should be, not what society says you should be, not what your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister or your best friend or, you know, the dog down the street says you should be. What do you want to do with this? You could literally turn this into like children's books or young adult fantasy novels where you've seen the darknesses of other people and you understand. And so you could take that and turn it into a lesson in a book form. You could paint it into a picture like Salvador Dali and show the world in your own unique way what this looks like. Get creative. Choose the path of creativity, of creative healing, whatever that means for you. Because right now, everything, the whole world is fertile and ready for you to do that. You have the ability to grow where things should not grow. To go in places that people shouldn't be going, but you can do it and be untarnished. And that is rare and beautiful and blessed. So pile 1, this is the message that you needed to hear. I truly hope that this helped. I hope some of it made sense or all of it made sense. I hope you continue to be the light you are in the world because the world needs your light. And I want to say thank you because I'm honored for you being here. Now, as I said in the intro, and if you missed it, I will repeat it here. I am attaching Reiki at the end of each one of these videos. And you can choose to accept the Reiki or not. If you choose to accept it, please give yourself about a half hour for the energies to flow through you, to heal what needs to be healed. Give yourself rest time especially. I apologize, I had to yawn, which means that the energy is flowing, but it's also a sign from Spirit that through the next half hour you may want to rest. So be sure that if you accept the Reiki, you set the intention for it to release during a time in which you're not driving or working or cooking. Because safety first, of course. So pile 1, I'm going to go ahead and release the Reiki right now. Finally, I want to say thank you. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection. Thank you to Spirit for allowing me to channel these messages forth for the collective of Pile 1 and to send healing energy out into the world when the world so needs healing. Thank you again, Pile 1, for being here, for joining me, for listening to these messages. Some of you have messages in Pile 3 for time for a nap, by the way, because I keep yawning now. But I do want to say thank you very much for being here, Pile 1. See, Pile 1. Thank you. If this video resonated, there are the fun buttons, the like, the share, the subscribe, and the notification bell, as you guys all know. And down in the description box are the links to all my fun projects, my books, my program, feel free to check any or all of them out. Pile 1, I want to say thank you one more time for being here, and I love you guys. I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the second pile, you chose the card 14 and Truth Be Told, but you also chose this moss agate. Now, this is not the usual interpretation of moss agate, but what always catches me, what always fascinates me about it is it's a stone, it's a crystal, it's hard, it's part of earth, but it also has moss in it, and the moss retains its beautiful green, and you can see how it just swirls through, and it's kind of this ongoing theme that I'm noticing, not just in the readings but in the collective, of being able to miraculously grow in places that you shouldn't be able to grow. But there's also a sense of preservation that I'm picking up. This Truth Be Told card, honestly, the only thing that I can focus on the card is the window. There's an owl standing on a mask. There's hearts fluttering everywhere, but it's an open window. And it's kind of like it's time to let your heart be open. You may be a truth teller. And I don't mean you value honesty. I mean, obviously, I truly believe you value honesty. But a truth teller is someone who knows that they have to deliver a harsh truth. They have to speak a truth into existence where before there was nothing but lies. Truth tellers get a lot of anger coming back at them. They get a lot of resentment. They get a lot of denial. Because to speak the truth when someone does not want to face it, it's one of the hardest things that you have to do. When you speak a truth to someone, and there's a personal example that's coming to mind, but I think I'm going to make it a hypothetical more instead of using a personal example. But for instance, you tell someone about the way that they are using you for their own needs. It's a truth, and they lash out. A lot of the times, truth tellers, they speak things they know are true, that the other people know are true. But you also know that you're opening yourself up for hurt. So you can close that window to your heart. Because the more people lash out, the more they get angry. I apologize, my cat is going crazy. The more people lash out, the harder it is for you to continue to be a truth teller. But there is a purity in what you do. Harsh truths are never easy to deliver. But without them, there would be nothing but duplicity and secrecy and lies. And we've seen as a collective how those things really destroy the world. They destroy relationships. They destroy our connection to ourselves and to spirit. They destroy our connection to each other. Lies only hurt. The truth may hurt for a moment, but the dawning realization that comes with being a truth teller, with telling other people what the truth is in their lives, and that you see Well, that fuels growth for centuries to come. Sometimes we can ignore the truth of our heart, the truth telling us to leave or to stay, the truth telling us that this person isn't right, or that person isn't right, or this situation isn't right, or that situation isn't right, or that we are exactly where we're meant to be, doing exactly what we're meant to be doing with the people we're meant to be doing it with, and we can doubt because the truth can be a scary thing to face. But you're a truth teller. It's a spiritual gift. It is a blessing. At some point, you have to tell the truth to yourself. I don't know what your truth is. You know what your truth is, and that's hidden in your heart. It's contained within your heart. And if you open the windows and you let fresh air in and you let the sunshine in to your heart, that's when you end up hearing your own truth. Sense that you're getting kind of tired of hearing, open your heart, be true to yourself. You know all the answers contained within you. I wish I could tell you that I had a different message for you. Something my husband and I tell our kids all the time is repetition is the key to learning. That came through just now so strongly because the reason why you feel tired of hearing it is because you've heard it so many times before, but repetition is the key to learning. You have to learn to trust yourself again. You have to learn that to be a truth teller doesn't mean that you're automatically going to hurt other people. It doesn't mean that you're going to be up against the odds and facing a world full of liars. There are other people who tell the truth. I myself value the truth above and beyond anything else, even when that truth is very hard to swallow. Even if the truth tells me that I've done something wrong or that I am in the wrong, I will face that truth because it is an opportunity for me to grow, to see a new perspective, and to move forward. The truth is that your heart already knows. It knows how important you are, how special you are, how worthy you are. It knows the value of its truth. And it's been trying to tell you for a very long time. So we're going to take a look at your other cards. I didn't set any signifiers or anything like that. I just wanted this to be an open forum so that we could talk, just kind of talk. Allow spirit to guide and lead and give you what you need to hear, sometimes what you don't want to hear, but the messages that are important. So we have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. I trust that my powerful intentions combined through my faith are enough to allow my vision to become reality. Media. You can reach more people by working with video, audio, print, and online media. And the card 4, completion and west. And I love that it is this person holding a puzzle piece, but you can see the brain is all lit up and there's all these dots, and that was actually a message that came through last night. It was about connecting the dots. You come to readings and you expect to hear things about other people. You expect to hear things that you know are true. But at what point do you realize that you're the one that is here to tell others the truth? There is a lot here about what you're doing. There is a lot here that shows me that you want to create something. And yes, of course, I can go with the media card. But there's a truth that needs to be told, and you're blocking. I get this Two of Swords energy, as though you're blocking the truth because I don't know, maybe there's an essence of not even really knowing why you're blocking it, why you're holding yourself back, not knowing that you're holding yourself back, or knowing that you're holding yourself back and not really knowing why. This, I am patient knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. That's telling me that wow, okay. There is a truth coming in for you. It's not coming from anywhere but inside of you. It will be coming from inside of you. Have you been going to a lot of pick a card readings and been getting the Knight of Swords in your piles? And hearing there's a message coming in, there's a message coming in. The message is not coming from anywhere but from within you. And that is actually what this discipline card is talking about. It's about allowing yourself to open the window or the door of your heart and listen to it. Being patient and trusting, because your heart is going to lead you down a path, or your heart has been leading you down a path. Excuse me. I apologize for that. Your heart has been leading you on this path already. And there's this sense that doubt is coming in. And so Spirit is asking you to be patient. Because what you're doing right now in stepping back is actually the right thing. Because there's something within you that is falling into place. And when it falls into place, this, whatever you want to complete, want to accomplish, is going to be completed. Do you want to start a blog? Have you started a blog? Jessie, if this is your pile, hi, sweetie. I was picking up blogging earlier. Something about this media card is if you watch a lot of content creators and you do a comparison, a side-by-side comparison, like, oh, this is what I want to do, but I want to do it this way. Or you're trying to, it's almost like you're trying to imitate someone else's work. But is that being true to you? Okay, Spirit, can I get a little bit more clarity for my truth tellers? There is something so important that needs to come from you. Some truth. We've got card 2 in friendliness. That's mixing your solar plexus and your higher heart chakra. That's taking personal power and mixing it with unconditional love. What are you creating? What truth do you have within you? Because the truth that's awakening within you, it's big. We have understanding, ordinariness. Oh, you have something building. It's building within you. The Fool, yes. You have something building within you. And then on the back we have intensity. And that is important because that's Knight of Wands energy. You have something building within you that you think is too soft. It's like, but my approach is too soft. It's too simple. Okay. It's almost as if it's too simple. But that, you're taking the most complex things and you're breaking it down into something that is absolutely ordinary and very, very simple. You're taking it and you're presenting it with a brand new understanding. You're taking truth and you're making it different. It doesn't mean you're making it a lie. You're taking truth and you're presenting it in a way that it changes the way people view things. And it takes these two disparate energies and it mixes them into something that flows together. Where there wasn't flow before, there will be flow after. Whatever it is that you have building within you, and you have this idea, but you may not know that you have the idea, or you may not be able to fully access the idea yet because it's still incoming. You're still, it's, I talk about, when I channel that I have translator apps within my brain. It's like you received a download and it was a while ago and it's still running through your translator programs. And so as the more that it runs through your programs, the more you actually can sense that there's something missing. But it's not that there's something missing. It's the fact that it hasn't had its opportunity to fully run through the translator programs. So if you give yourself some time, some pause, some patience, like embody patience and really, really, truly trust yourself here. The biggest thing is trust yourself and be patient, because patience is a self-disciplinary thing. Patience is you practicing self-control and self-restraint, because if you rush forward, it will be, it's impartial, but it will be incomplete. That's the word. Incomplete where you want it to be impartial. You want to be able to present a truth that is infused with emotion, infused from the heart, a heart-centered truth, but you want to do it in a way that you can bring it out and make it impartial. What? Spirit. No, that I keep hearing impartial. I don't know what that means. I trust that you will. But there is this, with the intensity card over the discipline and the truth be told card, it changes the energy of it. It's this very directed focus. And if you look, the intensity card is literally facing west. North, south, east, west. Just so you guys know. For where I'm sitting. But the intensity card is literally facing west. And there's this sense that you want it to be done. It's not supposed to be overly complicated, though. It isn't. Once you realize that it's the simplicity of it that brings out the understanding, the simplicity of it, the ordinariness of it, is what gets you started on that completion journey. That's so crazy. This is the way that it's coming through for your pile is, I think, an essence of what you're doing, because the Fool is about starting something new, but over top of the West and completion is literally as soon as you leap, you have completed what you were meaning to complete. There is such a huge level of trust here. And that is a truth that you're holding on to, that you struggle to trust yourself. You struggle to trust the decisions you've made. You struggle to trust the universe. You understand all of it. You do. Intellectually, you understand it. But there is a level of trust that you have not gained yet, because you're still working through something on a mental level. So we have the 7 of water. And see here, that's perfect. Okay, so I was watching something about the dangers of putting goldfish in like lake water, because they will eat everything up. It's kind of like you feel like you were put out of place. And then we've got the 4 of air. Yeah, it's like you feel out of place. There's a need to balance your feminine and your masculine, your intuition and your logical brain here, because the logical brain is taking control, and the more that it takes control, the less you're able to get in touch with your intuition. Are you guys been talking star seeds? Do you have a lot of water in your natal chart? Your favorite Disney princess is Ariel? Are you My Little Mermaid fans? I understand that is the simplistic response to looking at this card. I do. But I'm actually seeing Ariel with my clairvoyance. Why are you afraid to allow yourself to be led by your intuition, by your third eye? There's something about you not wanting to look with your third eye. There's something about the eyes here. The eyes are the gateways to the soul. So you may be able to literally look at a picture and look in someone's eyes and know the truth of that person. It's almost like a form of psychometry, and psychometry is where you can touch an object and you can get psychic and energetic insights into who it belonged to, where it came from, all sorts of different information that's imbued in the actual object itself from wherever it came from. But you don't have to touch it. It's like you can see and perform psychometry just by looking in someone's eyes. You can literally tell whether they're lying or telling the truth. You're like a human lie detector, but not the way that we talk about empaths being a lie detector. You're on a different level. But the problem is balancing out the logical and the intuition. There's not enough trust on the intuition and too much reliance on the logical. Not everything fits into a square. Not everything can be defined. You understand this, but you don't know how to move forward with it. Oh, I get it. You're trying to simplify your mind right now. And then we have the 3 of earth. Yeah, you're simplifying your mind because you're planting seeds for whatever it is that you want to do. Likely you want to be some sort of content creator, but you haven't decided on whether you want to do YouTube videos or not. And like I said, I picked up blogging, but maybe vlogging is something you have considered, but you don't know how to build a following either. That was really random. Trust yourself and trust your guidance. On the back we have the 9 of earth. Look how in the 3 he's looking down, but he doesn't have his third eye open. There isn't even a third eye signified here. And a squirrel stores things for winter. They're always preparing for the worst. But what if you prepare for the best instead? She has all three of her eyes open. She is perfectly balanced with her divine masculine, divine feminine, her logical, and her intuition. And this is an offering that's being made to you. There's something internally waking up. It's running through a translator program. And it's going to bring a truth into the world, but it's going to come through you in whatever modality you choose. You don't have to pick what everybody else does. Please don't. Please don't do that. You may see yourself as ordinary, but you are anything but. And you know what? There is a beauty in saying, you know what? I want to be ordinary. I want to be ordinary. I don't want to follow all the patterns and follow all the trends. I want to be who I am and do what I want to do. Are you guys Aquarius and water dominated by Uranus, or is Uranus in like Pisces in your chart? Is that it? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that's possible. That would make some of you very young. If you are, hi. Perhaps you guys have Saturn in Pisces as well. There's a strong Uranus energy, and it's Uranus and water. Maybe Uranus is ruled by one of the water signs. If Uranus is in your 4th, your 8th, or your 12th house in your chart, or if it's in a water sign, which it would have to be Pisces, you would have to be born, I think it was late 2003, early 2004. Or it's ruled by a water sign. It could be in any house, but it would have to be correlated with one of the water signs. There's something with Uranus being tied to water here in your chart, and it can feel very off kilter because that makes your emotions kind of chaotic. It also means that if your emotions get triggered, your world can build into a chaos, and you're really, really, really trying to simplify that and trying to get that back down. But there's a beauty in it. There is a beauty in it, and especially with where Uranus is right now in the charts in Taurus, because Taurus is very earthy energy. There is something here about taking Uranus from your chart, and I genuinely, I have no idea what this is. I am just straight channeling, but please believe me when I am telling you that the energy that I feel right now is that intensity, but it is a calmed intensity. It's kind of like very, 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 very focused. It makes me think that this four of air, you know what? I'm going to move this up. I want you guys to screenshot it and spend some time actually like really looking at this card. If you are a reader, this is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I don't normally try and be like, yeah, you have to get this, but there's something about this card that I feel like is going to open something for you. And I have no idea what is going on, you guys. I really don't. But this is the way that I am right now. And my friends will tell you this. The way that I am right now is how I get when I have some sort of massive like astrological discovery that just puts all the pieces of things together. So please bear with me here because I have no idea what I'm talking about, because it feels almost specific, but not entirely. There is a collective that this is happening to, and it's like you don't understand what it is that's going on, but there's something awakening within you because of where Uranus is at in the transit charts, and it's activating yours to blend all the energies together. Everything but fire is here, except it's not that the fire is within you. There it is. Okay, the fire is within you. So this is bringing all the other elements in so that you have all the elements you need. Wow. Okay. I don't I don't know what just happened, guys. That was really intense. That was really cool, but definitely take some time and you can go to astro.com or you can go to astro-seek.com. You can check out cafeastrology.com. They actually do like a generalized breakdown of your natal chart if you don't have it. But just kind of look into it. There's something there with your Uranus sign. I can feel it really strongly, and this is really cool. So, all right, pile 2. I hope this helped. I hope this really helped unlock something for you. I don't know what, but you do your thing because you have a truth to tell, and it's awesome. I can feel it. So I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating this connection, and thank you to Spirit for opening this channel and allowing me to speak your truths into the world. Pile 2, as I said in the intro, in case you missed it, I am going to attach Reiki energy to help guide you on your way. Remember, you don't have to accept the energy, but if you so choose, give yourself about a half-hour time frame in order to rest, to recuperate, drink some water, get grounded, and allow this energy to move through you to help with the essence of this message and healing. So I'm going to go ahead and give that now. Okay, that energy will flow throughout the next half hour, or if you set the intention, if you are not in a place to be able to accept the energy, set the intention for it to reach you when you're at a safe space, in a safe place, so that you're not running any risk of falling asleep or anything. Okay, pile 2. Wow. If this resonated, you guys know the drill. There's the like, the share, the subscribe, and the notification buttons. And down in the description box, you'll find links to all of my projects, my creative projects, my books, my programs, the whole 9. Thank you again for being here. I will see you guys all in my next video. I love you all. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the 3rd pile and the card Time for a Nap with the gray banded agate stone, this is your message. So I got a few messages that came in right away. The first one, I just kept hearing Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver. And it felt less about sleeping so much as it's about this essence of what are you holding yourself back from? What are you keeping yourself from dreaming? For your life in general. Okay, trigger warning. Some of you may have gone through something in your childhood in which essentially your ability to dream or your willingness to dream. And I don't, again, this does not feel like at night asleep. This is imagination and possibility and potentiality of life, like what you as a child would normally be able to dream up. Someone took it from you. Like, I get an essence of a parent having I just heard squashed your dreams, but that almost seems light. It's like every time you talked about anything imaginative, every picture drawn, every story told, you were called foolish, unrealistic, like, check back in. This is the real world. You can't do those things. Those things don't exist. Over time, that actually seeped into your sleeping life so that you began to block the dreams that you would have at night. And those were your escape. Those were the times where, without knowing it on a daily basis, you were able to actually live the dreams that you were talking about. And there's something within you that's trying to bring that back out, but there's a deep-seated fear that it's a deceptive energy. It's almost as if this is like a different level of self-deceit. Normally with self-deceit, we tell ourselves a story that we know isn't the truth because we're afraid of our own potential. We're afraid of the situation we're in. We're afraid of being alone, just things like that. That's usually how self-deceit works. We tell ourselves little white lies about who we are, what we aren't able to do, when really our capabilities are so much greater. This is like a deep-seated feeling where you can't trust your inner world because you feel like your inner world is actually battling against your childhood. And it makes it really hard for you to get in touch with your inner child because your inner child has this distortion. But there's an essence of an emotional purging that needs to happen, a forgiveness that needs to happen. Sometimes our parents project things onto us, and they don't realize they're doing it. And they do it because it was done to them. They do it because they are living in a state of fear. They do it for a multitude of reasons, but it never, ever, ever has to do with the child. It wasn't your fault. The things you were told and the ways that your imaginative spark as a child just got snuffed out is what it feels like. That wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, and you weren't in the wrong, and it isn't a bad thing to allow yourself to embrace and embark upon a journey in your adult life that has everything to do with the mystical and the magical. It's okay to believe in those things. It's not going to hurt you. And it isn't unrealistic because it's the world we're living in. And the more that these things awaken within the world, the more you can take that as spirit coming through and saying, please give yourself permission to dream. You've been spending a lot of time being very realistic, very pragmatic, very by the book, and this is how it has to go, and these are the rules, and this is the guidelines, and it's time to let loose. It's time to give yourself a break from those things. It's time to try something different. Let yourself cry. How long has it been since you allowed yourself to cry? I feel this deep sadness when I tap into this energy, this deep sadness that makes me want to cry. But if I'm not able to access the tears, usually it means that the energy that I am touching isn't able to. And if you've been at my channel, you know that I can cry. I do cry. But it's almost as if you're holding yourself back. There's this knot in my abdomen, and I have felt this knot in my abdomen since getting prepared for your pile. It's like You hold all your personal power inside, and you think that that means that you're being strong, but you don't see the strength in your own tears. You don't see the strength in your own imagination, your own dreams, your own wishes. Yes, you can take care of everything and everyone else, but you're not taking care of yourself, not truly, not fully. And now is the time for you to take a break. Take a break from taking care of everyone else. Take a break from taking over everything and thinking that you have to do it all, and ask for help. Take a nap. Some of you genuinely do need to take a day off. Give yourself permission to take a day off. And I am telling you that I struggle with that. I struggle to give myself permission to take days off. It's like a learning curve that I'm always on. But when you allow yourself to take a breather, take a break, take time for you, do the things that you love without any judgment and any condemnation towards yourself, when you allow yourself to start doing things like that, then you start softening, and that knot releases more and more. And the more you do that, the more you're able to shift yourself back into an accepting energy. There's a big factor of accepting yourself, all the facets of yourself, and knowing that anything and everything that happened when you were a child was not your fault. You were a child. It wasn't the job of your parents I apologize. It was the job of your parents to guide you, but it wasn't for them to tell you what dreams are possible. They should have told you all dreams are possible. And maybe nobody ever told them that. Maybe the world was very harsh to them and they just struggled to see the magic. And some people do, and that's okay. They were doing their best, even if it doesn't seem like it, even if their best was absolutely the worst thing that you experienced in your life. They still were doing their best. Not all parents know the way to go, know the way to do things. And I speak as a parent. I don't know 90% of the time what I'm doing. And I always say there really is no guidebook for parenting. There is no preparing for parenting. But I do my best as a parent, and I've learned a lot. And something that I had to learn was that my perception of my parents was very skewed because of how I felt about it, but I also had to talk it out with them. And I don't know if you are able to talk it out with your parents, but I get this essence of the little girl or little boy inside of you, and this is not gender specific. It's just what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling. The child, the inner child within you wants you to give it a voice. To remember what it was like to listen to lullabies and to watch Disney movies or watch cartoons on a Saturday morning and to ride your bike and with no hands, with your arms spread as though you could fly through the world. To remember those things, to feel those things again, and to release all the things that have been blocking that. There's a lot of sacral energy blockage here, which means that you may be struggling with creativity, struggling with identifying and getting in touch with your emotions. And it's okay to take a step back and to do these things. So we're going to take a look at your other oracle cards. I didn't set any specific intention with any of this beyond whatever it is that the collective needs to know. I wanted to leave it as an open forum for healing, for understanding, for awareness. So let's take a look at your cards. We have the card 43, Alchemy and Magic. Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Ask for what you want. Clear communication with yourself, with God, and with others helps you avoid misunderstandings and speeds up the process of answered prayers. Retreat. To block out distractions, spend quiet time alone so that you can focus on your priorities. And then we have, when I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. Have some of you been seeing cardinals or the orioles? Different types of birds. Like I said, you may be struggling with believing in magic, or believing that it's okay to believe in magic, believing that it's okay to look into magic, or to embrace even just a spiritual aspect. Almost like watching pick a cards is like your guilty pleasure kind of thing. You joke about it as though you don't take it seriously, but sometimes one of those readings hits in exactly the way it's meant to hit, and you struggle to be able to maintain what you've been maintaining. With ask for what you want and change, this again goes back to that feeling of your inner child wanting a voice. What did you want as a child? And how can you change that for yourself now that you've grown? In order to do that, you have to be able to speak up. And it's safe to do that, especially as an adult. It's okay to speak up for yourself. And yes, there may be discord. And yes, it may be a difficult situation. It may be a difficult journey or conversation to have. But would you rather go through your life not having spoken up, not having said anything, and then being stuck in the state of endless loops of this is what it's always like and I can't do anything to change it? Or would you rather embrace change in your life and move in a different way? Ask for what you want. Tell the world what you want. Tell spirit what you want. Tell the universe, but talk to the people in your life about this is what I dream for myself, and see how many people react with love and compassion and understanding and support. And understand that all of those things that they're reacting are things that are true to who you have in your life. The retreat card is telling me that there may be some things that take you for granted, that make you feel like you want to run away. I'm not even getting the message on the bottom doesn't quite fit with your energy. I just heard it's not like I'm overly distracted as it is. Sometimes a priority doesn't have to do with work. Sometimes a priority has to do with laughing. When was the last time you laughed? Like real, true laugh. I don't mean like a giggle or a sarcastic laugh. I mean like deep belly laugh because you just found the joy in a moment, in yourself, in your life. Things are changing in your life. Change is a constant. It's okay. And it's okay to learn how to balance out the real world and your quote unquote dream world. It's okay, because at some point those two worlds come together and they blend together just like alchemy. It becomes this magical thing where you're living your dream finally. I don't think that you struggle with appreciation when it comes to outside things or outside people. I think you struggle with appreciating yourself, with loving yourself, with believing in yourself, with speaking up for yourself especially. Okay, Spirit. We have abundance, which is the King of Pentacles. I just heard get your head out of the clouds. Your head is always in the clouds. And then it was followed up by keep your head in the clouds. It's where you belong. It's where you do your best work. We've got the card 11 and breakthrough. See? And this breakthrough card, I'm going to move it closer to the camera here. It literally is a child breaking through, like breaking down the barriers, breaking down the walls, just breaking through. This may have been a father figure or a very masculine energy, masculine figure. Perhaps it was a male teacher. We have the card Harmony. There's so much child energy, and I apologize. There is a lot that you've held in and not spoken about that I am feeling, and Spirit is trying to help bring that forth, bring that out, allow you to use your voice, or helping you see that it's okay for you to give yourself the allowance to speak your truth. And then we have letting go, and on the back we have the card number 2 with moment to moment. So the essence of this is there is so much within you that wants to come out. It wants to be heard. It wants to be seen. It wants to be felt. And in order to really be present completely in the moment that you're living, this moment to moment, that's what you're striving for or trying for or working towards. You want to be able to be in the moment. You want to be able to feel what you're feeling and live the life that you want to live, and not feel distracted by this, that, and the other thing. Not have to be constantly working all the time, or not having to be taking care of everything and everyone all the time, because that's what you've always known. You want to take a break. Like there's this essence of I really want to take a break. And it's okay to do that. Nothing is going to fall apart if you take a day for yourself. Nothing is going to fall apart if you speak up for yourself. Allow all the things that you wouldn't allow yourself to speak out in the past to come out of you. Even if you aren't comfortable doing this with a person, there are recording apps that you can use for like voice diaries. I don't know what they're called because I don't use them myself, but you can Google that. There's also journaling. Some people genuinely use a podcast as just a platform for their journal entries, to just get all of the stuff that's on their mind out. No matter what it is, they need to speak out what it is. And when you allow yourself to do that, there will be this massive breakthrough. And the breakthrough card is the card number 11. And then we've got harmony with 10. It's 111. If you're seeing repeating ones, this is your confirmation. Those confirmation moments are saying it's time to start something new. It's time to know what change you want to make and make that change. And sometimes you have to pull yourself back from the way that you were doing it before, and the beliefs that you had before, and the things that you it's like an operating system needs to be overhauled within you. I don't know why I'm getting so many computer references. It's very strange. But there's like an operating system that needs to be overhauled. You've been operating on this specific frequency for a very long time. And it served you when it needed to serve you. And now it doesn't serve you anymore. So you need to do some sort of upgrade. In order to ask for what you want, you have to know what your heart wants. You have to know what you want. You have to know what your dreams are. And until you allow yourself to take a break and take a breather, take a nap and get in touch and actually let yourself dream, you can't weave those dreams into a reality. You can't ask for help in weaving those dreams into a reality because they come from within you. So the retreat card is really showing me that when you take a step back from moving forward in the same way that you always do and doing all the same things you always do, and allowing something to change in your life, allowing something to flow and to flux and to move from moment to moment instead of being how it always has been, you'll find that harmony. And the harmony that you find within makes it very easy to let those emotions flood out of you. The letting go card usually talks about, moving on from something, letting something or someone go. But this is really about letting go of the tight vice grip that you have over your emotions and letting the tears come out and letting yourself feel and not constantly fighting for something that doesn't, it just isn't you anymore. Change is constant. Change will always be there, and it beats it down the door to you, wanting you to embrace it, wanting you to open up to it, wanting that breakthrough so that you can be balanced and harmonious, so you can live your dreams, so you can be in this state of appreciating who you are and what you've done. Because when you take this next step, when you take this next action forward, when you embrace change and you go through this huge, massive overhaul breakthrough moment, that's when you are creating magic in your life. What better way for a very logical, realistic, or reasonable mind to believe in magic than to witness it? What if you took a step back and you looked at who you were as a kid, who you were as a teenager, and who you are now? What do you see through that? What do you see through that? Do you see how amazing you are? Do you see how much you have changed? Do you see how much you have grown? Do you see how miraculous certain things have just fallen into place in your life, and without rhyme or reason, really? Okay, there's something with your pile that it's like, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? So let's find out. So we have the card, the Self and Faith. That's where you go from here. That's what you do. That's literally it. You have faith in yourself. You have faith in your dreams. You have faith in what you do, who you are, how you've grown. You see all the moments in which you've embraced you and done what you felt was right for you, and see how putting faith in that has changed your life. And look, if this was any kind of confirmation, the Faith card is literally the card 24. You started with the card 24. Have faith in what you contain within. Have faith in your dreams. Have faith in the diversity of who you are. Have faith in your path, and have faith in change, in love, in everything that you want, because it's all possible. Where you go from here is you embrace who you are. You embrace all the facets of what makes you uniquely you. You embrace yourself. And you have faith, and you just keep moving. I just heard walk by faith and not by sight. And I know that's very difficult. I've been there. I've done that. I do that. Every time I come here and do these readings, I am walking by faith and not by sight, because I can look at the cards, but the messages aren't always about the cards. Sometimes it's just completely different. Sometimes the cards just help amplify the message. I walk by faith. You're being asked to do the same. That's where you go from here. And you can do this. You can. And if no one ever told you in your life, you are worthy of living the dreams that you have for your life. You are meant to. You are meant to. In the intro, I did mention that I was going to give Reiki per pile. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And if you do not want to accept it, you don't have to. This will only go out to those who accept it. When you accept it, give yourself about a half hour. Take a rest, take a break, take a breather. But give yourself about a half hour for the energies to work their way through you. And make sure that you drink a lot of water and you ground yourself when you're done. Write down anything that you see during that time. For this pile specifically, write down anything that you see or feel or hear or experience or dream, anything. It will help. It will help. All you have to do is trust and have faith. So I'm going to go ahead and release the Reiki. If you're not in a place in which you can accept it and take a half hour, you can set the intention for it to release when you are laying down, when you are back at home, when you're not driving or operating heavy machinery or working or anything like that. And the energy is an intelligent energy. It goes where it's needed. So I will go ahead and send you guys your Reiki. Okay. Pile 3, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hearing these messages. Thank you for continuing to move forward in your life every single day. I want to say thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between us. Thank you to Spirit so much for bringing these messages forth through me, for allowing me to share my gifts with the collective and work in harmony with you. And thank you for everything you do for the collective. Spirit, thank you. Pile 3, you guys know the drill. If this resonated, there's the like button, the share button, subscribe, and the notification button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Down in the description box, you'll find links to all of my creative projects, my books, my program, links to donate, as well as links to book a personal reading. Go ahead and check those out. And I want to say thank you one more time for being here. I believe in you, Pile 3. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.